Hello and welcome to one of the rare, ultra-collectible crossover episodes between Runkle of the Bailey and Roll of Law. And of course, this is because Hasbro's behaving badly again. This time, they might actually be committing a crime. What I'm talking about here is this, the Magic of the Gathering Lord of the Rings Tales of the Middle-earth collector booster with 15 cards in it, which they're selling online for $90. $90 is a lot of money, and it's a lot more than they sell their regular booster packs for. That's important, right? And the reason why somebody might pay $90 for this and not buy one of the cheaper ones is because they tell you this is the best one for collectors. Because what are collector boosters? Collector boosters are a shortcut to the coolest cards in a set, with packs full of rare cards, shiny foil cards, and special alt art, alt frame cards. Some special card treatments can only be found in collector boosters, including extended art cards, unique foil treatments, and serialized cards. That last one is really important because there's this one card. It's the One Ring, and there's a version of it that has a serial number, which is 1 of 1. They're only making one of these cards. And you can see they've got this little infographic here about search for the One Ring. Where can I find it? Can you find it in draft and set boosters? No, you can't. You can find an alternate version of it, the main set version, but not the serialized special version. It's not in bundles. It's not in any other language boosters. It's only in the collector boosters and the gift bundle. And the only reason why it's in the gift bundle is because there's a collector booster that's included in that bundle. So if you want that shot at getting this special serialized version, you have to buy the much more expensive ones. And it doesn't play any differently. There's nothing extra special about this that makes it sort of a different game experience. The only thing that's different or unique about it is just that it's this serialized version. So why would you care? Well, lots of people do. Lots of people are out there looking to collect this, and they are willing to spend some big money. In fact, we've got this, which is reported by Dexerto. I'll link it in the description below, but it says bounty on ultra rare Magic the Gathering Lord of the Ring one card jumps to $2 million. That's a lot of money. It's actually 2 million euros, which is a little bit over 2 million US. And it also includes a trip. They're going to fly you out to Valencia, Spain, because the people offering this are in Spain, and pay for your accommodations. So it also comes with a free vacation. Now, at the point where you're getting $2 million for something, the free vacation is basically a rounding error. But I mean, hey, it's thrown in there. Spain is nice. It's a nice trip. So, why does this cause problems? Well, Canada's got some laws on this, and the US has laws on it as well, but I'm Canadian, so we'll talk about the Canadian laws, but I can tell you the US also has laws on what you can give away and how you can give it away. So the section that we're looking at is section 206, offense in relation to lotteries and games of chance. Every person is guilty of an indictable offense, which is sort of the Canadian equivalent of a felony, and liable to imprisonment for a term of not more than 2 years, or is guilty of an offense punishable on summary conviction, which is more of a misdemeanor. It limits how much jail time you can get. Who, any of a number of things, makes, prints, advertises, or publishes, or causes or procures to be made, printed, advertised, or published any proposal, scheme, or plan for advancing, lending, giving, selling, or in any way disposing of any property by lots, cards, tickets, or any mode of chance whatever. Sells, barters, exchanges, or otherwise disposes of, or causes or procures, or aids or assists in the sale, barter, exchange, or other disposal of, or offers for sale, barter, or exchange, any lot, card, ticket, or other means or device for advancing, lending, giving, selling, or otherwise disposing of any property by lots, tickets, or any mode of chance whatever. The any mode of chance whatever is important here because normally if you're running a lottery, you're going to do it with tickets or scratch cards or whatever. But there's nothing that says that you can't also be running an illegal lottery if you say, we're going to sell 10 mystery boxes and one of those mystery boxes is going to have $100,000 in it. That sounds like a mode of chance, right? surely they're not intending to exclude that kind of thing. And if you happen to have, say, hundreds of thousands of mystery boxes, and instead of like a big box, you just have them something wrapped in plastic, that seems to be the same thing. Now you might say, hey, doesn't this apply to just every pack of cards? Well, quite possibly, but the government hasn't, as of this point, shown any interest in going after that. The reason why that might change is that $2 million is a lot of money. The government starts getting interested when there's that much money on the line, especially because the government really bans anyone who's not the government or allowed by the government from running lotteries, because they use it as a fundraising method. It's a way that the government makes money, and they do that largely by preventing anyone else from competing with them. The government is territorial. It's the same way, a drug dealer might not want another drug dealer on their turf. The government doesn't want anyone to get in on their racket here. That might cause them to be really concerned if they see this as somebody getting in on their racket, which they could very well. You'll note here that this would actually allow them to go after, for instance, store owners as well. So that gets exciting if they decide to take this as far as they can. But the other thing that is a real risk here, a real potential problem if this card shows up in Canada, is this fun section right here. This is lottery sale void. Every sale, loan, gift, barter, or exchange of any property by any lottery, ticket, card, or other mode of chance, depending on or to be determined by chance or lot, is void, and all property so sold, lent, given, bartered, or exchanged is forfeited to Her Majesty. Now, the Queen is dead, so in place of Her Majesty, they can swap in His Majesty, but really that's a fiction. That would just go to the government. And the government has a substantial reason why they might say, hey, you know what? I would like that $2 million, please. Give me the $2 million. And we'll take that free vacation. What they'd probably do is take the card and then sell it at auction and just keep the money. Now you might, Hasbro, their argument on this one is going to be, listen, these cards are all equally worthless. Like, these cards are all just pieces of paper. They have no value inherently. And, it doesn't matter if it's an original Black Lotus or a land. All of these cards are equally valueless. But that doesn't actually hold up when we see that one of them already has a $2 million bounty on it. And also, it just doesn't hold up with their own advertising. Clearly, they're charging more for this than they are for others. And they actually base that on you having this chance to get this extra special card. So their own advertising here may cause them real problems. And if they ever did get into some trouble on this, I suspect the government would be starting to say, hey, we want to see your internal communications. And I bet their internal communications say something like, a lot of people are going to be really interested in this because they want this special card that's going to be super valuable once it gets onto the secondary market. And the whole secondary market argument doesn't make a whole lot of sense in the first place, to say, hey, this has no inherent value. It's only what other people will pay for it. That is also true of a brick of gold. I mean, a brick of gold doesn't have any value. I mean, I guess other than like a really shiny paperweight or maybe a conductor, except that people will spend a lot of money for it. A diamond is it's a kind of semi-useful rock, except people will spend a lot of money for that. If you were to run this sort of contest and you were going to give away a diamond or, an original, like a very expensive, high-priced baseball card, the government would say, whoa, you can't do that. And in fact, they have in the past shut down these kinds of things. They don't normally worry about it when it's small potatoes, but 2 million is going to get them a lot of interest. And if they start thinking about this as something that's going to expand, you better believe they'll have an interest in trying to shut it down. And if they do that, then that might actually spread, because then they've got an interest in shutting down loot boxes, all these sorts of things, which kind of feel like gambling. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. If you are interested in buying these, you should know that this is a legal risk. I'm not going to give you any advice here. Talk to a lawyer. You make your own choices. You take your own chances. I'm just telling you, what's out there. So talk to a lawyer if this is something that comes up. Definitely talk to a lawyer if you are looking at a $2 million card in your hands and you're wondering what's going on. So all of those things are times to get some individualized legal advice, which this video isn't. Thank you guys for watching. Please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to see more content. I don't actually think that they're going to put anyone from Wizards of the Coast in jail, but it would be hilarious. Hopefully, see you next time.